see that you wanna I see that you wanna see it when you breathe, girl. Come as any squeeze you back. Come to any please, girl. I see that you wanna I see that you wanna
J'ai pas dit les questions, je veux que les réponses, d'accord? Alors, le premier axe, c'est que je suis quelqu'un de très romantique.
I see your body changing. Don't speak that body language. That woman half amazing. I swear I'm gonna take my time with you, and you gon' sing my favorite song or two. That kitty about to love what I'ma do. I see it when you breathe, girl. Come let Zaddy squeeze you back. Come to Zaddy please, girl. I see that you wanna I see that you wanna
J'ai vécu à Barcelone pendant très longtemps, j'ai vécu à Paris pendant très longtemps, et j'ai vécu à New York et en Écosse, mais
see it when you breathe, girl. Come as any squeeze you back. Come to any please, girl. I see that you wanna I see that you wanna
et puis ensuite partager entre Barcelone et Paris. Le facteur 4, je suis une très
your body releasing pheromones. Don't fuck me, baby, through the phone. I know you want a nigga home. I swear I'm gonna take my time with you, and you gon' sing my favorite song or two. That kitty about to love what I'ma do. I see it when you breathe, girl. Come let Zaddy squeeze you back. Come to Zaddy please, girl. I see that you wanna I see that you wanna
surtout d'exprimer de la joie. Et c'était pas rare de me trouver en train de chanter dans la cuisine pendant que je cuisinais des petits plats ou dans la douche. Et j'ai aussi avec personne dans la maison quand je suis vraiment toute seule parce que je suis cette scène. Donc j'aime pas.
I see that you wanna I see that you wanna
C'est que j'adore marcher pieds nus sur la pelouse. C'est quelque chose de magique. C'est presque. Je pense que c'est un instinct presque. Quelque chose de. Pas animal. Ou peut-être animal en fait. J'aime beaucoup sentir vraiment l'air sous la terre.
Here we are, back at it again. It is I, your host. Let me introduce you.
Let me introduce you to Bo Miles, a unique and likable guy. Everyday life, friends and family makes up the artist's dream.
let's see what's been going on this week. We have been doing the Tekken analyst or the analyze video of my matches. I put up some material to help punish one of the characters named Lily. Now, I'm sure not all of you guys are Tekken players, but this character Lily is like 50 characters in the universe, right? It's probably 50 plus now because I think Tekken 7 has 50. So one of the characters is Lily, and I was playing against her and got destroyed. And I remember just playing like Tekken 6 and getting destroyed. So I'm like, look, I need to go ahead and lock it down, right? So if I'm fighting these Lily players and others, because I'm also a part of a Discord, the Capos. So it's the Eddie Christina Capo Discord, where it's just, Eddie Gordo, and they just share different tech and different things like that. So, I want to do my contribution. So I created some videos so it's the building foundation for Lily. This is her punishment. This is standing, while standing, and high string. So I put that together, and now I'm doing the actual video of analyzing my fights. So that's what I'm doing now. That's what I've been doing this week. Hopefully I'll be done with it this week. I'm also going to put in my pitch for Tekken Omega Wars, Tekken the Omega Wars, which is a rebranding of Tekken Tag 3. So I'm going to put that in. I'm going to put that in now so you guys can hear it, because that's what I'm doing. That's what I got going on so far this week, right? So boom, let's go ahead and insert it now. Yo, it's your boy Pat here. Today, we're going to be talking about what comes after Tekken 8. Now, we have every reason to be excited about Tekken 8. All right? And I'm going to do a video on that maybe in the next few days. But this video is about Tekken the Omega Wars. Okay, so at the conclusion of Tekken 8, no spoilers, I'm not going to go into what happens at the end of Tekken 8. But that battle will unleash the forces that will rip through space and time as we know it in the Tekken world. All right? That will cause other properties and other instances. No, can we call it instances? I don't know what you're going to call it. I guess other properties. All right. Other properties will come into the Tekken world. All right. You thought that it was over with Tekken 7. You was feeling a little okay in Tekken 8. But Tekken the Omega Wars will unleash the power of the Mishimas. Now, we got to look at it from a technical standpoint first. Okay. So Tekken Tag 2, it was hard. It was very difficult. It was a difficult game for us mere mortals. I mean, I know you godlike players out there. It was a piece of cake. Okay. Look, man, get y'all 200 characters. Y'all ready to rock and roll. Y'all know how to punish. Look, punny is on crisp. Okay. Movement is on godlike. So, but for us mere mortals, us one danners, first danners, it was hard. It was still fun, but it was hard. Now, Tekken 7, it fixed that problem with the assisted mode, and I believe that it's called assisted. It might be labeled something else, but that really that helped. Far as if this was Tekken Tag 3 and you had that mode, so now you just learn your one character, right? And then you have your assisted mode that's going to help with some of the heavy work of that second character. Now, Tekken the Omega Wars will have 3. It will be 3-on-3 Tekken action, but with this assisted system, it will make it easier for people regular beginners to be able to hop in and to play the game. Now, when we talk about characters, we got to say, all right, now who is in this? Who's going to be in this? We're going to have the whole roster of Tekken. You have the whole Tekken roster, all the way from 1 through 8. All of them are in there. Bosses, just everybody. Everybody's in there. And then you have Fatal Fury, right? Because Tekken Omega Wars is going to revitalize or come out in time for the Fatal Fury franchise. Okay, so you're going to have Terry Bogard, Andy Bogard, Joe Higashi, right? And you're going to have some bosses. You're going to have Geese. Geese will return. And 2 of his henchmen. Now, I feel like Billy Khan and what's the old guy who turns into the monster? That would, or turn like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde effect, right? That would be a good, like, even if you did that with Gigas, right? If you merged Gigas, just imagine you was playing Wang, right? So you're playing Wang, and then when you get down to the very bottom of your health, or however they choose to integrate this feature, then you turn into Gigas, and you get those, you get that Gigas effect, right? That would be fire. Okay, and I know some of y'all thinking, no. All right, that's why we have Tekken 8, and we have Tekken 9 and 10 and 11 for you purists who just want, look, I just want a clean, as true to fighting game that I can have, which I love that. That was one of the main things that I loved about the Tekken franchise. But Tekken 7, I think that we all can agree that Tekken 7 is like, what are they? Not a linchpin, but it's that missing link between Tekken and something new. Tekken 7 is something new. It's the creation, and that's why I feel like Tekken the Omega Wars is going to be so awesome, because it's going to build on the legacy of Tekken 7 and take that to the next level. So you have 3-on-3 Tekken. You have canceling. So you have canceling. You have people with weapons. You got weapons. You have the merging. So, and we'll get into this on my Tekken 8 video about Jin, my vision for Jin moving forward, Jin and Kazuya, because I mean they kind of have it with Kazuya a little bit. It's not a lot, but they have it to where, okay, Kazuya can change into devil form based off of energy, right? Now, Tekken, the Omega Wars, both of them, Kazuya and Jin, will be in max mode. Like, they're going to see their full potential. So it's on the fly now, okay? And but you're gonna have the energy in the far as the team to be able to carry that. So, all right, if Kazuya can just change into devil mode, he's just ultra strong, he's doing all this stuff, but you got 3 guys going up against him, right? And of course he has 2 other guys with him. But depending on your team, depending on how you put together and assemble your team, will maybe that can affect your health and virality and things like that. So they can definitely work it, but you gotta have some cheese in there. Okay, everybody's not gonna be happy, and that's just the way it is. Get over it. All right, you can play Tekken the Omega Wars 2. Wait for that one. But we're gonna have, like I said, we're gonna have SNK, right? Because SNK is gonna be relaunching the Fatal Fury franchise, coincide with the Tekken Omega Wars. Then you're gonna have Street Fighter. Of course, you got Akuma. I want to see Akuma in Tekken 8. Like I said, I'm gonna save my Tekken 8. I've done a video already, but I'm gonna do a new video, and it's just gonna be on the hybrids, because I think that's what Tekken 8, that's what it's gonna have. That's what's gonna make Tekken 8 different, but also the same, as so it can still flow in the Tekken world, far as 5, because 5 is, second, 6 and 7 in Tekken Tag 2, all of that was like an evolution of 5, right? Where we can just say 5 was just a return back to Tekken 3 or Tekken Tag 2, right? I mean, Tekken Tag. So all of that is all in the same vein. But the hybrid system, I feel like that is what's going to give it its new feel, but also it's still the same, right? It's still evolving in the Tekken world, but at the same time, it's not, people are not like, man, this is just too cartoony, because like I said, Tekken, the greatness of it was it's close to realness as far as the style and the movement and the giant characters, right? We could say like Virtual Fighter 3 and so forth, right? Like those type of things. I mean, that's what was awesome. That's what separated from like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. So Tekken, like I said, we're going to get into the 8, but right now we're talking about Tekken the Omega Wars, aka Tekken Tag 3. All right, like I said, we're going to have Street Fighter characters, so we're going to have some Capcom properties. We're going to have SNK properties. We're going to have Nintendo. Remember, Nintendo and Bandai Namco, they came together for that Tekken Tag 2 on it wasn't the Switch. What game system was that? I cannot think of that, the Nintendo system, but it was the precursor to the Switch, right? So they came together for that. So for this, now that, the fight between Jin and Kazuya has ripped through the fabric of space and time, opening up paths for all the different branches and franchise to actually put some characters in and get some skin in the game. And also this will give Bandai Namco, a chance to create a new property, right? Because people want that team to create another game. So, like Tekken 7 was so revolutionary with adding those 2D characters and showing that it could work. Now, Tekken Cross Street Fighter is too small. It's too small of a game. Like the Tekken world, the Tekken playground is just too great for only Capcom properties. No. We want everybody in here. Okay, we want Guilty Gear. We want DNF. I mean, look, we want Blaze Blue. Like whoever you can get in this Tekken world, we want to see them in like a fantasy all-out brawl. Every man for themselves. Who's gonna win the Omega Wars? All right. So, like I said, this game is going to come out after Tekken 8, and it's going to revolve around the battle between Jin and Kazuya, and restoring balance and getting these fighters back to their dimensions, to their parallel worlds, while also giving Bandai Namco a chance to create a new property that lives independently and concurrent with Tekken. So Tekken and the Omega Wars and that property that branches off, so you can get new characters, you can get 2D fighting, you can get canceling, you can just get 2D/3D, really leading the way. Because I feel like Tekken 7, that's what it did. It showed because what is it, Street Fighter, 3D Street Fighter, what is it, the EX series? The first one, it was all right. It looked good. I'm talking about back when it first came out, right? It looked good. It played. We had games like Battle Arena Toshinden. Those games, they looked good, right? And they played well for the time, but Tekken was always more refined. It was always more elegant, right? And I feel like Tekken 7 showed the world. It showed the world that that Bandai Namco can do a 3D Street Fighter game, and it's gonna be the best. It's gonna be the best game, right? They can do 3D SNK, they can do Mortal Kombat. Like, they can do all of these games in their engine, in their world, and they're going to be far more superior than what you're playing right now. Like, it's going to take those games to the next level. And when you bring in those 2D elements into Tekken, it takes Tekken to the next level. But are we really ready for that? Right now, the purists, you Tekken gods, are going to say, no, man, that's not Tekken. And that's okay. And that's why Tekken, the Omega Wars, will live and be successful, because it's not going to be Tekken, right? But it's going to be Tekken. It's going to be a place where, boom, I mean, you're getting the best of all the worlds. And like I said, it's going to be 3-on-3 action. You're going to have assisted help. So therefore, you don't have to worry about, man, this game is just too big. It's just too much for us to learn. No, you can still have fun. I want you guys to think of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, right? For me, it's 3. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for me is the pinnacle of the Marvel vs. Capcom games, right? You can think of SNK versus Street Fighter, those type of games. I mean, those games were they were just like a fanfare. This was for the fans, and I feel like Tekken the Omega Wars will be for the fans, and it will give Bandai Namco a chance to branch off and do another series, to do another property. And I feel like, that one is going to be, because, like I said, it is AKA Tekken Tag 3, right? It is AKA Tekken Tag 3. They're rebranding Tekken Tag 3 to put out this just super hype, kick-ass, exciting tag game in the 3D world, done right, the way it's supposed to be, the way that Tekken Tag 2 should have been, and it would have been if Tekken Tag 2 had the support that Tekken 7, far as updating and just rebalancing and fixing. And that's one of the things, like, just moving forward, we're going to see in Tekken 8, we're going to see them fixing Tekken 8. So the Tekken 8 that comes out in 2023 or 2024, right? Whatever year that it comes out in, which you figure it'll probably be announced maybe in December, maybe because I know they have something coming up where people feel like it's going to be announced there, but I feel like it's going to be announced during the Tekken World Tour finals. But either way, I feel like, okay, we're going to get an announcement, and then it'll probably drop either in the fall, so it'll drop next fall 23, or in the spring of 24, right? So we're going to get that. And as far as the gameplay, like I said, I'm gonna wait. I'm not even going to talk about Tekken 8 because, like I said, I want it to be a hybrid and a integrated game, right? Because that's what happens in real fighting. When fighters know each other, they share techniques. So these fighters know each other. They've been fighting with each other for so long, right? So there needs to be sharing of techniques between certain characters. Right, and those moves shouldn't be as strong, because just like Street Fighter 3, what was the guy's name? The basketball player, I can't even think of his name. But like his moves wasn't as strong as, like, they just weren't, right? And we look at Dan back when he first dropped, so he was like the weakest Shotokan fighter. So those are some of the things I want to see in Tekken 8, but we'll get into that. Right now, we're talking about Tekken, the Omega Wars, a.k.a. Tekken Tag 3. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be delicious. So, yeah, that was the pitch. I'm also going to do some ideas for Tekken 3 as far as fighting styles and the characters. So I'm going to do that. I've finished writing the third song. The second song is up on Spotify, so I might open up with it this episode, right? So open and close with it this episode, so I'll probably do that. And like I said, I finished writing the third song, so I'll start recording that. I'll do the recording and everything this week as well. I was contemplating on going to the funeral for one of my choir members, but I have a lot of stuff to do around the house. And, I'm just torn because it's like, that's just out of respect. That's one of my church and choir members. And, they passed away, and they've been in the choir and the praise team back when I was in West Virginia for who knows? I mean, years, probably 7 to 10 years. So, a part of me feel like I'm obligated. And what I was thinking is I could go drive up Friday and then leave right after the funeral. That way I can get back and take care of my obligations at home. I got to cut the grass. I got to clean up, so much stuff to do. But, I want to be respectful of my members and just kind of be there as a support. So, I'm battling that because I really don't like funerals. Like I don't like going to funerals. I don't like seeing the living in that state, so I really try to avoid it as much as possible. But, so we got that cooking up this weekend as well. We got programming on some big things. So I have a couple big projects going on in the works. So I'm really trying to finish this analyze video so that I can move on to the other ones, move on to the other things. The other stuff is not that hard, like that Tekken 8 with the fighting. That's not going to be hard because with this analyzing video, this analysis, I am using video. So I'm showing my matches. Then I'm showing the punishment. So it'll pause and cut. So that's taking up time because I have to cut up the B-roll. And then I have to watch the video and then cut it all up. So that's what's taking time. So I really want to be done. I really want to be done with that by Friday. I mean, like I said, I got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is building in with the programming. So we got programming going on. So it's a lot. It's a lot, and just trying to juggle everything. And I think that is the main thing that I'm thinking and just being aware of is just juggling everything and putting everything in its place. And one of the phrases, and I've spoke about this before, but it comes back to me. And this is something that Mike Tyson said, and he was on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he said, I'm not smart enough to architect my life. Everything that happened in my life, I'm not smart enough to say, okay, look, this is what I need to do. This is da 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 da. That just comes back to me, and it just reassures and reaffirms that, like, yo, you're on the right track. So I want you guys to know that you're on the right track, even though you may feel like you're not, and especially you're on the right track if this is the track, this is the place that you truly want to be. Right? If you're afflicted by drug addiction, if you're afflicted by alcohol addiction or any other addiction, and that's crippling you, then you are being crippled, right? You have to overcome that before you can put yourself in a position. But remember what Tyson said, he did not put himself in that position. So, I gotta believe that there is something beyond. There is something beyond us, right? I cannot see your full self. We may look at ourselves in the mirror and see ourselves, and we may look at our kids and our spouses and whoever, but that's not the full breadth of them. That's not where they begin and where they end. There's something beyond what we can physically see with our senses, right? So it's something beyond that. And that is fighting for us. So like I said, if you're battling alcohol or drug or any other addiction, and that's keeping you from moving, right? Then, you really have to try. You really have to try. But see, that's the thing. Like, I believe that if you truly want to be free, then you will be free of it. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. Right? Like, that's just how things work in the physical world. We don't put a seed in the ground, clap our hands 3 times and yell out, Ade Dewey Dembella, give me the power, I beg of you. And then it just starts to grow, right? Now make my monsters grow. Like it just doesn't work like that. In the physical world, in this existence that we're all experiencing together, there's a process. Everything is a process. So if you want to truly break free of something, then you have to look at the process that you're in, look at the process that, okay, look, this is where I am. This is what I'm doing. Look at that process and then say, okay, how can I overcome this? Right? What is the process to free me from this? So no matter what the chains that may have you imprisoned, don't just say, okay, I want to be free. What's the process of becoming free? Right? Like that's the question that you have to ask yourself. And once you identify a process, and the thing is that for you know how to become free. It may be hard to actually physically go through that, but you know. So the whole thing is if you keep trying it, you will become free. But we have to acknowledge that some people, look, this is the way that they want to be, right? Like my brother and I, I rarely talk about him just because, it just hurts me, so like I try to avoid him whenever I go to the city and stuff like that. I don't want to see him like that because, I still remember him and just remember looking up to him. Just always, look, I want to be just like him, right? Now he's in bondage right now. And a part of me feels like, look, a part of him wants to be in bondage. Maybe this is how he's coping with reality, how he's coping with the loss because, he's still in the city. So, that loss is strong. That loss is in your face, right? I just told you one of our homies got gunned down, and I remember, I think I spoke about this last week. I'm not sure, but about that dream I had with me and my cousin. We were in the city, so we're in Baltimore, we're on the east side, just where we're from, and it's nighttime, and there's like a corner store. It's on Oliver and Federal. So Federal and Oliver, it's a corner store. So once you cross that street, it was like this black ether. So, up until just throughout the whole neighborhood is normal, right? So it's nighttime. It's normal. It looks normal. And once you got to this neighborhood, once you got to that crossing, it was like Gears of War, how the black scene where those creatures will eat you up if you're in the darkness, and everything was just black. So that's how it was. And it was like it was like some type of, like I said, it's like an ether. It's like a solution. It was kind of like liquid, but it wasn't. You could breathe, but you knew that, like, yo, this, you don't want to be in here. And like I said, the light it was like light could not escape it, right? So light could not escape it, and so you couldn't see. And you, like when you flashed, because I think we either had our cell phones or we had some type of you just kind of saw like a light coming from maybe different things, right? So people had like flashlights, they had their phones, but that light, it wouldn't illuminate a lot. So you couldn't see that far, right? Like, so light was not escaping in this vacuum. I don't even know what to call it, right? In this space, in this area, it was dark. It was black, pitch black. So me and my little cousin, we're going through, we're trying to get to his house, right? He doesn't even live there anymore in this current day, but we're trying to get to his house. And when we get close to it, we get to up on his steps and he's trying to get in. That's when they just start shooting. And I'm not really sure, if they're shooting at us. You don't know who they're shooting at, but I got hit. So I got hit and, so now I'm like, yo, they shooting at us. So I'm running and we run off and go into this alley. And I'm getting hit. Like I probably got shot a few times. And my cousin, so I'm ahead of my cousin, and I guess they got him. They hit him a bunch, so he was down, and I was away from him. But I see that they're up on him. So then I turn around, and I start running towards him, and like I said, like I got hit a lot, so they're just standing over him, dumping, like just boom, they just let him have it. And, and I just remember that feeling. I remember that hurt feeling, like they're killing my cousin, and that feeling of knowing that like, yo, I'm not going to make it. Like, yo, I've been hit too many times, so I'm not going to make it, and just kind of crawling to protect my cousin. And, fast forward, like I said, that was a dream. You just never know who's jumping at what point. But, so that was the dream. And then maybe a week or 2 weeks later, one of our close friends, I mean, that's how he gets gunned down. Like they're just standing over him and unloading a clip in him, So, my big brother, I mean, he's there. He's there to like where that happened. He walked, that's right down the street from him. So he sees that every day, and just the countless other people who died. And, like I understand if he's using that as self-medication. Look, man, this is how I'm dealing with it. This is how I'm dealing with the stress and the pressure of death and just around me. Right. So I was checking out the, the FBG gang in Chicago. And I've been on my King Von, checking out a lot of his stuff because I'm working on a project that I'm going to do after this music project, the present. So after that, then I'm going to work on another project, which, it's like just Chirac inspired, which, if you're, no matter what hood and just cavity you're from in the country, you can handle it anywhere else. So if you're from LA and you come to Baltimore, you're going to fit right in. Like you're going to know what time it is, right? It's just minor adjustments. If you're from Chicago, you go to Baltimore. If you're from Louisiana, you go to Chicago. You from what is it? Not Bricktown, but that's one. But the Natty. You from the Natty, or you from what's that? Indy. I forgot what they call it up in there, right? But if you're from any of these places and you go, and it's just interchangeable, right? So just kind of falling and going down that rabbit hole is like, man, but it's getting me ready because I'm working on something after the present. So, but we'll see. I might step away from that for a while, and I think I will. So after the present, I'm going to be doing like a dance album or a dance hall type of album, house music, right? So I'm gonna do more like EMD house music. I'm gonna do that. So that's what I'll do after the present, and then after that, then I'll get to the Chirac inspired work. So. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all that I have going on as far as this week and next week. This is a short episode just because I wanted to be consistent and keep something out, get something out there, and be consistent for the week. But I also have other obligations that I got to do. So, that's the main thing, is just juggling everything. It's just juggling. You're just trying to stay on top of everything. You're just trying to juggle and make sure that you're getting to things as you need to, and just being ahead of the game. So, so that is always something to do. But, I want you guys to remember, just remember what Tyson said, that, I'm not smart enough to engineer this path that I was on. Right. It was just something greater than my physical self. So I want you guys to know that. So as you are trying to reach your goals and trying to move ahead and obtain certain things, just know that there is a force working with you that is helping you, even though you may not even understand. Right? The best thing for Tyson was for him to go to jail. That was the best thing. That was the best thing that happened to him. And he didn't plan it. Hey, man, I'm just going to, I'm going to go to high school for 4 years, and I'm going to go to college for 4, and then I'm going to go get my master's, and I'm going to go get my doctorate, and I'm going to start teaching that. Like, he didn't do that, right? He just was going on about life and just being himself, and he just found himself in a position and opportunity. He was able to see the opportunity that's in front of him, and it was something that it lined up with who he was at that moment and the calling, and boom. And the rest is history. So that is happening for you and for me. So, there we have it. And like I said, this is a short episode. It's not long, but, I love you guys. And, I want you to have a good week, get it in. This song is on Spotify. Definitely check out the Spotify. You can just type in, Bo Miles in Spotify and my music will come up. So, if you like this song, check out the rest of the stuff, subscribe or whatever you can do to it. I don't know, right? Depending on what you guys, where you listen, if you would like to subscribe to any one of my Apple or Spotify or Tune In or wherever you guys get your podcast, definitely do that. If you would like to give me a rating, if you would like to rate it, go ahead and rate it. Like I said, Reese's PCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCCC
I see it when you breathe, girl. Come and steady squeeze you, but come to steady please, girl. I see that you wanna fuck. I see that you wanna fuck. See it when you breathe, girl. Come and steady squeeze you, but come to steady please, girl. I see that you wanna fuck. I see that you wanna fuck.
En fait, j'ai pas dit les questions, je veux que les réponses, d'accord? Le premier axe, c'est que je suis quelqu'un de très, très romantique.
I see your body changing. Don't speak that body language. That woman half amazing. I swear I'm gonna take my time with you, and you gon' sing my favorite song or two. That kitty about to love what I'ma do. I'ma do. I see it when you breathe, girl. Come and steady squeeze you, but come to steady please, girl. I see that you wanna fuck. I see that you wanna fuck.
J'ai vécu à Barcelone pendant très très longtemps, j'ai vécu à Paris pendant très très longtemps, et j'ai vécu à New York et en Écosse, mais pas longtemps.
See it when you breathe, girl. Come and steady squeeze you, but come to steady please, girl. I see that you wanna fuck. I see that you wanna fuck.
Et puis ensuite partagé entre Barcelone et Paris. Le facteur 4, je suis une très
Your body releasing pheromones. Don't fuck me, baby, through the phone. I know you want a nigga home. I swear I'm gonna take my time with you, and you gon' sing my favorite song or two. That kitty about to love what I'ma do. I'ma do. I see it when you breathe, girl. Come and steady squeeze you, but come to steady please, girl. I see that that you wanna bow. I see that you wanna